Welcome, mortals, to another video. Today we're going to be discussing the information that we received from the parks panel at D23. Now, we got some really good news and we got some really not so good news while we were at this event. I personally wasn't there, really wish I was, would have been really cool, but I also would have come home very broke. So, hey, win-win, I guess, or win-lose, I don't know. Anyway, we learned a lot of really good and bad information. They gave us a lot of expansion news, which was something we were really excited to hear about. I, for one, was very excited to hear about the villains expansion that they're wanting to do to the Magic Kingdom, and we did get a little more information on that. So I do appreciate them dropping that at the very end, and I'm very excited to see what all they come up with. However, one thing that I'm a little nervous about is they decided they were going to we'll start with, let's start with the bad. Let's start with the bad and then we'll get into the good. The bad, unfortunately, because something I was very excited about, is a Cars Land, if you even want to call it a Cars Land. Now, of all places that they've wanted to do it, they've had this, originally they had a whole Blue Sky project where it was, where can we put, or not really that, but like beyond Big Thunder Mountain. That seemed to be their biggest thing. If you go beyond Big Thunder Mountain, what are you going to see? Well, apparently if you go beyond Big Thunder Mountain, you're going to see cars. So the part that upsets a lot of people is not that they're just doing a Cars Land, is, again, if you even want to call it that. They're giving us two rides. One, I'm guessing, is supposed to be like the ride in Islands of Adventure. That's Universal. Over at California Adventure, or if they're wanting to do their own theme, I'm not sure. I was really excited when they first announced it because I'm like, oh, cool, we're going to get Radiator Springs. We're going to get Flo's V8 Cafe. We're going to get all these really cool things. We're going to get that one ride that I've really wanted to ride. No. What we're going to be getting is two rides of their own style. One of them looks like to be a very childish ride, where it's, you ride with your parents and you kind of do like a little racing thing. Another one is going to be like a ride through the mountains and everything. That one looks interesting. I'd like to see that. It looks nice on paper, but let's see how it looks in real life. Now, here's where everybody has gotten to be pretty upset for two reasons. One, the location of where Cars Land is going to go. This is going to be in Frontierland. Because usually when you think of the Great Frontier, you don't, you think of, the wilderness, which they've got that. But you don't necessarily think of talking cars in Frontierland. That's what has gotten people, the theming is a bit off. And then we have another thing about what's upsetting everybody is it's replacing, they're getting rid of the big river, where the Mark Twain sails through and, the big boat. That's going to be gone. A staple for Disney World since when the park first opened, several years ago, is going to be gone. They're going to be taking that away. And that's something that has upset a lot of fans, that me included. Now, I've never been on that boat before, but something about going to Disney World, going into Magic Kingdom, and, you're waiting in line for the Haunted Mansion, because that's, that's always the ride I go straight to when I get to the parks, is you waiting in line and then hearing that boat sail through, hearing that tug horn, whatever, and then the boat sails through. That's always been like an iconic scene. And I feel like that's been an iconic scene for thousands of guests before us. So why are we deciding to get rid of that? It must have been a tough choice, I'd say, on Imagineer's part to pick an area to put this in. So I don't know. A lot of people are very unhappy, and I'm included. It's like, oh, cool, we're getting a Cars Land. Well, that's nice. It's about time Magic Kingdom or Disney World in general get a, its own discussion or its own Cars Land. No, they decided they're going to put it in an odd place. And, I honestly thought it would have been better to put it in like Epcot or something. I don't know. Talking cars. Get rid of Test Track and put Cars down. That was a suggestion, but I think Test Track's a bit too iconic. Now, moving on to the better news. That was really, I think, the only bad news that we ever got for the park panel. We got information on Hollywood Studios, my least favorite park, which I think is about to become one of my favorite parks. We are going to be getting a Monsters, Inc. section to the park. Now, this has also kind of been a double-edged sword. A lot of people are like, oh my God, unlike Cars Land, everybody is super, super flippin' excited about it, me included. However, a lot of people are going, okay, now where's this going to go? They actually have not given that information out as to where Monsters, Inc. land or world, whatever you want to call it, is going to be located. Where is Monstropolis going to be built? A lot of people are afraid that it's going to be replacing the old Muppets Theater, which, it's been several years. It was the last project that Tim Burton, wow. It is the last project that Jim Henson had ever touched and was a part of before he passed, unfortunately. So it's kind of like it's a staple to the park, really. It's kind of like, it's like the Eiffel Tower to Kings Island in a way. It's a main focus there. So a lot of people are very upset to see that go, and they're hoping it's not going to be replacing that. But I have not gone as in depth of digging where these particular locations can go or a better place. If you want to watch something like that, Offhand Disney did cover a really good video where he went super in depth showing, okay, here's where we could put this. Unfortunately, we'd be losing this, but we could put it over here where we keep this, but then we'd be losing this. So unfortunately, it's one of those situations where wherever we go, you're going to be losing something. So that's the downside, because they do run out of land eventually. They don't just have an unlimited, this isn't Planet Coaster where you could just keep going and going and going. They do unfortunately have a limit. So something is going to have to go. What that is going to be, we don't know yet. What we do know is that it's going to house the very first suspended roller coaster in Walt Disney World. I don't know if there's one in Walt Disney or in Disneyland. I don't think so, but it is going to be the first suspended roller coaster, meaning your little feeties are going to be dangling. You're going to be riding through the Door Factory with Mike and Sully. So that is going to be really cool. I think it looks really, really awesome how they've designed this. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see all the audio animatronics. The walkthrough of the entire land is going to be really cool. I'm assuming there's going to be at least another ride or two to give this whole land its own, to give you more to do. A lot of shopping, a lot of food. I'm really interested to see how the food is, like all the different monster-ish foods. And again, a lot of people want to know what is going on with this guy holding the baby monster on the little harness on his chest. Are you going to be able to build a monster? Are they going to have their own build? That would be cool. I think a lot of people, kind of like how you can go and adopt your own Banshee in Animal Kingdom. You're going to come home, you're going to be able to adopt a little monster you can just put on your chest, and you can build them up how you want, and they'll help you build them. So instead of Build-A-Bear, we got Build-A-Monster. I'm telling you. Cha-ching. Come on, guys. And then you, of course, got your character meet and greets with Mike and Sully. So that's going to be really cool. If they don't have you waiting in the queue line for the ride, and you're just in a room with Roz behind the thing, so it could be either an animatronic behind a wall or like a screen that's just talking to you and just kind of be like hassling guests and everything, I'm going to be so disappointed, because you've got to have to hear at least always watching at least once in that queue line. So let me know what you guys think below. Of course, there's even more to cover on this, but this video is already 10 minutes long. We're going to be covering Animal Kingdom in its own separate video because there's a lot to cover. So Epcot didn't get anything. Epcot didn't get any news, but I do have a video about Epcot that I'm going to be working on here shortly that I want you guys to see. It's possibly another, what they could do, not what are they doing, but what could we do to make that part of the park a little bit better. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, of course, you know what to do. So I will see you guys on our next tour. Bye.